Hello everyone, myself Ramneet Kumar Singh and I am teaching you heat and mass transfer for your GATE examination. Hope you are building your radiation concepts day by day, okay? Because we are understanding each and every concept from the basic, okay? Now my dear students, let us discuss about the most important topics for the GATE. These are your irradiation, radiocity, and let us understand them carefully so that all the concepts will be clear and you will be able to attempt all the questions, my dear students. So let us see first of all irradiation. So what is irradiation? So let us suppose I have a surface. Let us say this is your some surface. Okay, this is your surface. Okay. Now some radiation is coming out from somewhere, like from sun or from different body, and it is falling on it. So some radiation is coming and falling on it, my dear students. Let us say this is represented by G. So the radiation which is falling on the body is called as your irradiation, and that is defined by G, my dear students. G. The radiation which is the radiation falling on surface is called irradiation, my dear students. Okay, now maybe some radiation is emitted, like some is falling on the body and some is like emitted by the body, okay, or emitted or reflected by the body. So the radiation leaving the surface, is represented by J, and that is called your radiocity, my dear students. Radiocity. So what is radiocity? The radiation leaving the surface is called surface is called radiocity, my dear students. Radiocity. So how we can see the radiation which is leaving the surface? So let us understand this concept carefully. Let us say I have a surface. Let us take, I am taking this surface, okay, that is my favorite, okay. I am taking this to be like my surface. So some radiation is emitted by this surface, okay, and also some radiation which is coming out from the body may be reflected from this body, coming from outward, may be reflected by this surface, my dear students. So this can happen. Then the radiation which is coming to the body can be reflected back. That will be your rho G. And also there can be possibility that some radiation may be emitted by the surface. And what will be this radiation, my dear students? This will be E into, that is emissivity of that surface. If it is having some reflectivity, some emissivity, some transmittivity, my dear students. So what will happen if this is having some emissivity? So it will also emit some radiation, that will be equal to E into EB, my dear students. Yes or no? So what will be the total radiation which is leaving the surface? So the total radiation which is, I am calling that radiocity. So the total radiation leaving the surface, or we can say the radiation leaving the surface, okay. So now total radiation leaving the surface is equal to how much? So this is defined by J, and this will be equal to nothing but rho into G plus epsilon E into EB, my dear students. So this will be a total radiosity for the body, for the surface. This will be for this surface. This is some reflecting and this is also emitting some. So the total radiation which is coming out from this surface will be what? Rho G plus E into EB. Why? Because that is also emitting and reflecting. Okay. So now can I calculate the value of G from here? Yes. What will be G? So G I can calculate. This will be J minus E of EB divided by rho, my dear students. So I know that alpha plus E plus tau is equal to 1, my dear students. And most of the times we will be dealing about the opaque surfaces, that is solids and liquids. So as, let us take it not, as we are most of the time we are dealing with solids and liquids, that is opaque surfaces, that implies tau will be equal to 0, my dear student. That is transmittive will be equal to 0 for these cases. So what we will be left with? We will be left with what? That is not alpha, that is your rho, my dear students. So we will left with what? Rho plus alpha plus tau is equal to 1. So that is equal to 0 in our case. So we will be left with rho plus alpha is equal to 1, my dear students. So from Kirchhoff's law, can I put that alpha is equal to E from Kirchhoff's law? My dear students. So alpha will become equal to E. So this term will become alpha rho, that is rho plus E is equal to 1. So can I have the value of rho? So this will become 1 minus E, my dear students. That is epsilon. So this will become, so I will put the value here in this equation. What I will have, let us see. So G will become equal to J minus E of EB divided by 1 minus E. So now I have the total radiation which is falling on the surface. My dear students. So let us take this equation. So let us calculate the net radiation heat exchange between the two surfaces, between this surface, my dear students. What will be this? Let us see. So the net radiation with particular surface will be given by what? Let us see. So let us calculate the net radiation, my dear students. So let us put this equation there so that you will remember. So this will be G or J is equal to, we have calculated the value of G, I think. So this is nothing but what? J minus epsilon E into EB divided by 1 minus E. So that was your equation 1. Okay. Now, so my dear students, if I am having this surface, let us say I am having this surface. This is absorbing some radiation. So some radiation is coming to this. That is your G. And some radiation is leaving this surface, my dear students. Some radiation is leaving this surface. Let us take it J. That is radiosity J. Okay. Now the net radiation exchange with the surface, net radiation exchange with the surface is equal to Q is equal to, let us take Q is equal to, that will be nothing but J, that is the radiation leaving the surface and radiation coming to the surface. So this will be J minus G. Okay. So let us put the value from G from equation number 1. This will become J minus E of EB divided by 1 minus E. So let us take that LCM of this. This will become 1 minus E. And I have to multiply this equation with this. So this will become J minus E of J. Okay. Then I have to take that minus inside. So this will become J. Minus again. This will become E of EB. My dear students. So J and J will go. So I will be left with only E of EB minus E of J divided by 1 minus E, my dear students. So this will become, if I will take E out, So this will become, that implies Q is equal to E I am taking out, this will become EB minus J and 1 minus E, my dear students. EB minus J and 1 minus E, my dear students. Now, if I am taking these both terms like EB and J to be total, not per unit area I am taking, to be total. So can I take this like this? So EB can be written as small EB dot area and J can be written as small j into area, my dear students. So can I put like this? If this is per unit area, that is watt per meter square, this is also watt per meter square, my dear students. So this was the total, this was in total in watt. So let us take it. So putting the value of these equations, what I will have, this will become Q is equal to E dot EB, which is now area into EB, small EB per unit area, minus area into J, small j, my dear students. So this will take the form 1 minus E. So this will become equal to Q is equal to E and area I am taking out. This will become EB minus J, my dear students. EB minus J divided by 1 minus E. So can I have the analogy of this with something like called Ohm's law, or we have seen in the conduction, that electrical analogy? Let us see. So for this surface, my dear students, what it will become, let us see. Now I am having one surface only. Let us say I am having only one surface. I will take a different layer now. Let us take this surface. Or I am having only one surface, this. Okay. And this is emitting some radiation and it is also leaving some radiation. This EB is nothing but the what? Emission of the black body. If I will assume that that surface is made up of the black body, or it is a black body, that it will emit all the radiation. Okay. If I will take this. So EB minus J, I will take like a potential difference, it is seems to be. Potential difference it is seem to be. So this is nothing but like, if EB is there, that is it is emitting radiation per unit area, watt per meter square, and also this is leaving the total radiation J, small j, per unit area, watt per meter square, my dear students. It is also leaving some radiation, watt per meter square. So in between EB and J, there is some resistance, that is what nothing but 1 minus E into EA. Let us take it in the form of this. So you know that Q is nothing but equal to delta T by R thermal, my dear students. R thermal, you know this equation very well. Or you also know that I is equal to delta V by R. Now you know this equation also. These two equations, you know. If I will compare these both equations, and I will assume that it is a potential difference for radiation heat exchange. So can I calculate the resistance? Yes. So it will become equal to Q into EB minus J divided by 1 minus E upon EA, my dear students, where 1 minus E upon EA will be your radiation resistance for this particular surface. That will be your surface, that will be called your surface resistance, my dear students. So 1 minus, that is R surface for radiation will be equal to 1 minus E upon EA. So for this surface, that emissivity is defining the surface resistance, my dear students. Why? Let us see. If it is a black body, can I calculate the resistance for the black body? That is 1 minus 0, or 1 minus, what is the emissivity for black bodies? Or EB is equal to 1, we know. So RB will become equal to 1 minus EB, that is equal to 1 divided by 1 into A. So this will become 0. Oh my god. For the black body, the surface resistance is 0. That's why it is emitting the maximum radiation. Okay. And as the emissivity is increasing, the resistance, that is surface resistance of the body, is increasing, my dear students. Let us say, if this is your surface and you are, it is that is emissivity, if there is emissivity for this particular surface from 0 to 1, if it is increasing, then resistance is increasing. But if the emissivity is equal to 1, if the emissivity is becoming equal to 1, my dear students, then the resistance is what? The resistance is equal to 0. But if the emissivity is less than 1, my dear students, then this will have some surface resistance, my dear students. So every non-black surface which is having some emissivity will have the surface resistance. Okay, only the black body which is having emissivity equal to 1 will have the surface resistance equal to 0. Okay, now hope you have understood the concept. Now we know for every body we are having some surface resistance. Now, like every surface is having some surface resistance, okay, in the radiation. Okay, we can also take a note for this, or that is surface resistance for a black body which is having emissivity equal to 1 will be equal to 0. So let us see, if I am having two surfaces, then so let us analyze this. This is the most important for your gate. So just focus on the board, my dear students. I hope you are feeling the concept now. Let us feel it more carefully. Let us see, my dear students. Let us see. Now let us see. If I am having the two surfaces, let us take two surfaces, my dear students. If I am having two surfaces, this is again your surface 1. Let us take surface 1. And again I am taking the surface 2. Let us take it surface 2. So my dear students, this surface 1 will have some potential difference because of, for what? For radiation I am talking. So just feel the analogy so that you will be building all the concepts in your mind. You don't have to remember anything. Just learn here. Okay, let us see. This will be having some radiosity J1, my dear students, per unit area, both these things. Similarly, this surface is also having EV2 and some J2, my dear students. Okay. Now, this surface is having some resistances. Which is nothing but what? That is R surface 1 will be equal to 1 minus. That will be 1 minus. Let us take if E1 is the emissivity of this and E2 is the emissivity of this surface, my dear students. So this will become 1 minus E1 upon E1A. A1. Okay? E1 A1. Now similarly for this surface, what will be the surface resistance to? This will be 1 minus E2 upon E2A2, my dear students. E2A2. So now that these particular surfaces are having some resistances. So when the radiation is coming out from this, maybe falling on 2, and the radiation which is coming out from 2 is maybe falling on 1. So what it will become? Let us see. So some radiation is coming out from this and falling on 2, and that fraction of radiation will be called your shape factor, my dear students, and some may be going out in all directions. So what will be this? This will be F12, my dear students. Similarly, some radiation is coming out from 2 and falling on 1. Yes or no? Now this is falling on 1 and some may be coming out in these directions. Yes or no? Yes. And this will be called your F21, my dear students. F21. So let us calculate this. Now let us see. The total radiation leaving the first surface is what? The total radiation leaving the first surface is, so what was the radiation which was leaving 2? So leaving 1, it was J1 only, that was your radiosity, the total radiation coming out from the surface 1, that was your radiation, that was your J1. The total radiation leaving the first surface is your J1, my dear students, J1, and this can be taken as small j1 into a1. Yes or no? Small j1 into a1. Now the total radiation which is coming leaving surface 1 and falling on 2, the total radiation leaving surface 1 and falling on surface 2, on surface 2 will be equal to what, my dear students? This will be nothing but equal to J1 A1, or I can write like small j1 into A1 into, that will be F12, my dear students, into F12, that is fraction of radiation. Shape factor will decide that how much radiation is leaving that and reaching on the 2, my dear students. Similarly we can know the total radiation leaving surface 2 and falling on surface 1, my dear students, that will be defined by F21, my dear students, F21. So what it will become, let us see. So this will be equal to nothing but your, and total radiation leaving the surface is nothing but your J2, leaving the surface 2 is J2. So this you can take J2, this you can take J1, my dear students. So this will become J2 into F21, or if you are taking per unit area, if this is your total, so you can write this J small j2 into A2 into F of 21, my dear students, F of 21. So that is the total radiation which is leaving the surface 2 and reaching to the surface 1. So can we calculate the net radiation exchange between two bodies? Yes, we can calculate the net radiation exchange. Let us see, my dear students. So the net radiation exchange between two bodies, net radiation exchange between two bodies will be given as, what we should say, surfaces. Two surfaces is, let us take Q net is equal to nothing but, that will be your small j1 a1 f12 minus small j2 a2 f21. Yes or no, my dear students? So this will become nothing but, I can take a1 f21 a2 f21. Why? I will use the reciprocity theorem. This will have to a1 f12 is equal to a2 f21 from reciprocity theorem. So I can directly write like a1 f12 into small j1 minus small j2, my dear students. So this will be the net radiation heat exchange between the two surfaces because of the orientation or geometry, my dear students. Now let us see. This is the net radiation. Now if this is leaving some radiation, this is also leaving some radiation. Some radiosity is having this surface, some radiosity is having this surface, and because of this there is some heat transfer between those surfaces because of radiation heat exchange. Now let us see. If this is having your J1, my dear students, and this is having your J2, let us take it small J1 and J2 per unit area. Okay, J1 and J2, my dear students. So there is some net radiation heat exchange. Can I assume or can I compare this with the potential difference? Yes, because it is having also some resistance. So if I will compare with like our conduction equation, as you have seen that Q is given by delta T by R thermal, my dear students. So now delta T I am taking this value and Q we have already this. So Q net will be equal to nothing but equal to, that is small j1 minus j2 divided by 1 by a1 f12. So in this case, if I will compare with this equation, then this value, my dear students, this value will be equal to your R resistance, and this is called your, that will be some R which is nothing but 1 upon a1 f12, and this is called your space resistance, my dear students. This is called your space resistance. So between these two bodies, these two surfaces, there will be some space resistance, that will be nothing but a1 f12, that will be equal to this much, my dear students. And also we are having rs1. Yes, we are having rs1, my dear students. We are having also that surface resistance, one surface resistance between what? That is nothing but EB and this. Also we are having that surface resistance 2, which is nothing but this EB2, my dear students, and we have that is R surface 2, we have that is R surface 1, my dear students. So this will be the net circuit diagram for radiation heat exchange between the two surfaces when there is a radiation heat exchange. Now let us understand the concept carefully. So if I will change the configuration, then what will happen? The space resistance will change. Okay, the space resistance will change. So if I will like bring that body closer to this body, closer to this body, what will happen? The fraction of radiation which is coming out from this or leaving this surface and falling onto will increase. And what will happen? As I will bring that down, so F12 will increase, and due to which that space resistance, that is R space, this will increase, my dear students, due to which R space will decrease. Also, if area of the body will increase, then R space will decrease, my dear students. Similarly, if for this particular case you will see, if emissivity of the body is in the range of this, that is for the gray surfaces, my dear students. So this will be the surface resistance. So now we can feel that every body, if this is your body, my dear students, so what will happen? So there will be some surface resistance for this, okay. Again, if this is your another body, let us take these are the another body, this is body 1, this is body 2, and these are exchanging the radiation in between twos. So this body will have some surface resistance. Why? Because this surface will have some emissivity, some absorptivity, some reflectivity, some transmittivity, due to which this will have some surface resistance. Similarly, this body will also have some surface resistance, my dear students. Yes. And they will also have some resistance which is called the space resistance, in between the space resistance. Although the space is taking nothing, but what is this? This is coming from the orientation factor or the geometry factor. So if you will change the geometry of these surfaces, what will happen? The radiation heat exchange between them will change because of what? Because of the space resistance. So one radiation body will have that surface resistance and also one space resistance. Means two bodies, if there are two bodies, then these bodies will have only one space resistance, my dear students, and two surface resistances. So we can conclude now that two body exchanging the radiation will have, we can conclude now that two bodies exchanging the radiation will have body surfaces exchanging the heat in terms of radiation will have two surface resistances and one space resistance, or we also call this term as shape resistance. So can I calculate the total resistance now from this circuit? Yes, I can calculate. Let us see. So what will be the total resistance for this? Let us see. The net effective resistance for radiation, my dear students. So let us see the effective resistance for radiation. So the effective resistance for radiation will become equal to, that is EB1 and that is EB2. So we can write EB1 minus EB2 is equal to delta T. So can I take directly, or yes, you can take directly. So let us write, or I should take this side. So yes, we can take like this: EV1 minus EV2 is equal to Q, that is net radiation heat exchange, into the effective resistance. So I have taken that Q by, so Q into R thermal is nothing but equal to delta T. So from this concept, delta T is EV1 minus EV2, my dear students, is equal to Q of 1 minus E1 by E1 A1, that is epsilon 1 and epsilon 1, plus 1 upon A1 F1 2, my dear students, plus 1 minus emissivity 2 E2 minus epsilon 2 E2 epsilon 2 A2. So this will be the total, and in this case this term is called your effective resistance for, that is R effective for radiation heat exchange. And this is very much important from your gate point of view. So can I have a total heat? Yes. Where Q is nothing but what? Total radiation heat exchange, my dear students. So can I calculate this? Yes. Q will be equal to EV1. What will be EV1? Sigma T1 to the power 4. EV2 sigma T2 to the power 4. So this will become Q net radiation heat exchange will become equal to sigma T1 to the power 4 minus T to the power 4 divided by 1 minus E1 by E1 A1 plus 1 upon A1 F12 plus 1 minus E2 upon E2 A2, my dear students. So this will be the net radiation heat exchange or between two surfaces. Okay, hope you have understood the concept and all the concepts are clear, my dear students. So thank you so much